Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Josh here, and I just wanted to reach out to you and give you some information in regards to kids camp that's coming up this Monday. First thing, this Sunday, right after service back in Kids Park, we are going to be having a meeting with all of our parents of all the kids who are going to camp. So if you're able to be there, please be there. We're going to give you some more information as far as what to expect. We also want that to be a time for you to turn in any medication that you have for your child. If you can't give your medication until that Monday, just make sure you let me know that as well. But we'll go into more details here in a little bit on the medication. But this Sunday, right after service, back in Kids Park, just a really quick meeting to go over all the expectations, what you can expect from us next week, and a little bit more about what your kid's going to be experiencing. We just want to make sure that you feel comfortable sending your kids off for an entire week. I know that sometimes can be stressful. Sometimes that can be exciting because you're getting a break away from maybe a child that you've been with all summer long. But we just want you to know and be rest assured knowing that the Arkansas Assemblies of God camp down in Hot Springs, they do an amazing job of making sure that all the kids are safe. They have an on-site medic, actual nurse, who's there taking care of everyone just in case some accidents were to happen. But that contact information for being able to get a hold of someone, it was also in your packet in case you need that. But without any further ado, here we go. Let's kind of just go through what the schedule is going to be for next week. So on Monday, we need everyone to meet at the church at 8:15. So we are going to be leaving out at 9 o'clock. This gives us time to get our seating arrangement in line, make sure we have all the medications for everyone, make sure that we have everybody's spending money collected. We don't want them losing any of their spending money before they get to camp. This also will give us time to get things packed up. Last year we learned that it took a little bit longer to find out where we were going to place everybody's luggage. So we're going to be meeting at 8:15. That'll give us a good solid 45 minutes to get everything organized, to get everything ready, and then we'll be leaving the church at 9 a.m. We do have a student that's going to be meeting up with us in Alma. That's going to be going to camp with us. We're going to be stopping in Alma around 10 o'clock that morning to pick up that student. Then we will be driving to Russellville, Arkansas, where we'll get there about 11:15. We're going to stop in Russellville and we're going to eat lunch. So one of the things that you need to make sure that you send with your kid is some money for lunch on that Monday, and then also on that Friday that we return, send some money for lunch as well. We'll be stopping at just some fast food restaurants like Taco Bell or Chick-fil-A, something like that. So that kind of gives you an idea about how much money you would need to send. But then we should arrive at the campgrounds in Hot Springs around 12:45, 1 o'clock. We have to get checked in by 2:30. So I want us to get there a little bit earlier than the cutoff time, so that way we have an opportunity to be able to get our beds selected, everybody get all their belongings put in order. We have to get the medications turned in. We have to get all the money turned in for the money bank. That's kind of what they do down there at camp. They have this bank where kids can have spending money, and they'll be able to turn that in, and so that way the kids aren't carrying all their money around with them. They'll have a card that'll have maybe just like $5 on the card, punch card. So that way they're not spending all their money at once. They have this bank that they do a really good job of making sure that the kids don't spend all their money at once. They kind of help spread that out throughout the week, making sure that they have enough money. They also do have a store where kids can buy just some fun items like glow-in-the-dark swords, or last year they had fidget spinners and a lot of glow-in-the-dark type stuff. But then there's a concession stand where they can buy extra drinks and water and popsicles and ice cream and all kinds of good stuff that they can purchase there. But we'll get there about 12:45, 1 o'clock. Gives us plenty of time to get registered, get everything in line, and then all the week long we'll just be having a great time. Again, playing go-karts. There's a swimming pool. So I wanted to go through, hopefully everybody was able to read through kind of the parent forms. Hopefully you already kind of know what you need to be bringing to camp, but in case you misplace those, I wanted to just run through just some of the items that you need to be aware of to make sure whenever you're packing your kids' bags, making sure that they have enough items, enough clothes, enough spending money, enough toiletries, things like that, to make sure that they're going to be taken care of that week. So going through this, just some of the dress code, that's the first thing that we'll touch on is just the dress code. All clothing must be no shorter than 2 inches above the knees. So when talking about shorts, we need to make sure that the shorts are long enough. If they're going to be wearing a dress at any time, we need to make sure that the dress is long enough. Again, we're just making sure that the apparel that we wear is modest. Shorts can be worn during the day. Of course, they're going to be playing a lot of games, getting hot. But again, absolutely no spandex, no boxer shorts, no shorts shorter than 2 inches above the knee. They stress that a couple of times here in the rules. Any abbreviated attire such as half shirts, tank tops, sundresses, spaghetti straps, or crop shirts will not be allowed. So don't even have your child bring those. Just make sure that their bodies are being covered. Shirts and dresses that have any part of the back missing will not be allowed. No oversized armholes, so like anything cut off on the sleeves or sides cut out of the shirts, none of that will be allowed. So don't have your kid bring any of that. They will be asked to change. Any tight-fitting clothing, like tight pants or tight shorts, like the spandex type stuff, just leave all that at home. It says if you bring it, you'll be asked to change. All clothing must be modest. So just make sure when you're going through your kids' clothes, make sure that's long enough. Make sure that the tops that they wear cover their upper body. Dark clothing needs to be brought. We will play some water sports. There is some swimming time, so they need to make sure that they're wearing dark clothes. And during the water sports that are played outside, they just have to make sure that they're wearing shoes. So make sure that you're bringing shoes, closed-toed shoes that they can wear and run around in. Don't want somebody's toe getting broken. Again, it says shoes must be worn at all times. Shoes that cover the whole foot must be worn while riding go-karts. Yes, there are go-karts. So again, closed-toed shoes whenever they're going out to play go-karts. So they can bring flip-flops to wear whenever they're swimming. They can bring things like that whenever maybe they're going to service. But when it comes time to the activities, they need to have some tennis shoes. So some closed-toed shoes. Make sure that they bring those. If you want to send dress clothes with your child so they can change before service, you can. However, they no longer require that dress clothes are worn for the service. What they've done, and it's an amazing thing that they do, is they do their service midday whenever it's the hottest part of the day. So they get the kids inside at the hottest part of the day. They'll do a lot of games and activities in the morning, come in for service, so they may still be a little bit sweaty while they're worshiping Jesus, but you know what? That's okay. But then afterwards, they do more of their activities afternoon when it starts to cool down again. Again, we don't want the kids getting super hot. So every kid will shower before they go to bed. So we don't have to worry about kids going to bed all sweaty. Every kid, let me stress you that, every kid will shower before they go to bed. So make sure that you're bringing enough toiletries for your kid to be able to shower every night. Towels as well. If you need them to reuse a towel, just make sure that your child understands that they need to hang their towel up. Those towels that just get wadded up and put in the bottom of a bag or in a trash bag and they want to use those again, they get a little musty and a little stinky. So make sure your kid, if you're only sending maybe 2 or 3 towels, make sure they understand that they need to be able to hang those towels up to reuse those, or you can bring enough towels for the entire week. That's fine. As far as any other general information and policies that they've rolled out, again, no shaving cream. So in case any of your kids want to be a little prankster, no shaving cream will be allowed. Multimedia players. Okay, so any multimedia players, firearms, knives, weapons, any communicative devices like cell phones, iPads, anything like that, or clothing and other articles like iPhone watches or anything like that, none of that will be allowed. Cell phones are not allowed. Child caught with any of those electronic devices or cell phones, they will confiscate those and hold on to them until the end of camp. So just make sure that all that stuff is kind of left with them. If you're worried about getting a hold of your kid, you will have my number, you'll have Amy's number, Pastor Brad's going, Holly Walker's going, so you'll have ways of getting a hold of us, but there's also the contact number on the form for the camp in case you can't reach one of us, in case there's an emergency or you do need to talk with your child. So just make sure that you're using that form of communication. No fireworks, smoking, alcohol beverages, or drugs allowed on the campground. Just want to get that out there. No public displays of affection. Not that our kids would be doing any of that, I would hope, but no public displays of affection. And no food or drinks are allowed in the dorm at any time. So if they wanted to pack candy or snacks and drinks to bring with them, just don't do that. They don't allow that. They want to keep the dorms as clean as possible, and they provide the kids as many opportunities as possible with the meals and things like that, with the concession stands to be able to get plenty of drinks. So just make sure that that all that kind of stuff is left at home. What items do you need to bring? What items does your child need to pack? All right, so here's the list of items. They need to have twin sheets. They need to have blankets and pillows, okay? So they will be provided a bunk bed, but they need to have sheets, blankets, and a pillow, okay, to be able to sleep with. They need to bring enough towels if they use washcloths. They need to bring that stuff to be able to take a shower every single night. Any of their toiletries, shampoo, deodorant, okay? Even if your kid doesn't wear deodorant right now, trust me, bring some deodorant. They will get stinky, so bring some deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, anything to fix their hair with. So just make sure that you're bringing those specific toiletry items for your child to use. Make sure that they're organizing their bags to where they don't get lost, maybe even having their names written on them. That can kind of come in handy as well. Make sure that they bring, if you want them to have spending money throughout the week, bring that money, cash only, no checks. Put it in a Ziploc bag. We'll turn those in on that Monday, or if you want to bring it Sunday to the meeting, we can go ahead and have that and store that on hand, and then whenever we turn it all in, we just want to make sure that it doesn't get lost between when we leave the church and when they actually get to camp. They need to make sure they have casual clothes such as shorts, t-shirts, the tennis shoes, dark clothes, and closed-toed shoes to be able to wear in the water sports. They do have a swimming pool, so make sure that they bring a swimsuit. Again, they'll have to wear a t-shirt, but make sure they will keep the girls and the guys separate whenever they are swimming. So the guys can swim without their shirts on. The girls can have their bathing suits on. It is kind of closed off. It's fenced off to where you can't be seen. So just make sure the clothes you're bringing to swim in are modest. Let's see what else here. They need to have a bag for their wet clothes, a bag for their dry clothes. You don't want to mix those two together again because the wet clothes start to stink. And I would just suggest that you clearly label the items. Anything specific for your child that you don't want them to lose. Again, there's a lot of items that get lost at camp, especially with kids. A lot of things that get left behind. So if their name's put on it, we know who it belongs to. If not, it's a lot of times it's up for grabs, and unfortunately it goes into a trash unless somebody claims it. So clearly label all the items. At the end of the day, all campers are responsible for their items, so make sure that your kid understands that these are their belongings. This is a great opportunity to teach them responsibility on keeping their stuff organized, keeping their stuff in order. We don't want any of their stuff getting lost, or them coming home without clothes, or them coming home missing shoes, or missing certain items that you really want them to keep. But just make sure, talk with them, let them know that this is something that they will have to do in life. But this is a good opportunity to teach